Hey, what's up, guys? Naka here. I'm going to show you what I use for my normal Majruger and Soma fits using a blaster. Now, for the Soma, I want to use all militia items. So that's a militia armor hardener, militia blaster, militia armor repper, uh, a militia CRU, and a militia scanner. Now, the reason I went with this is because it's only 70k ISK for this. This is either if you don't have skills or if you want to basically just use it to throw away. If you either know you're up against some opposition or just to test the waters. I also have a Madruger fit that's kind of set up in a similar way. It's got a basic armor repair, it's got a complex armor hardener, a basic armor plates, got that prototype blaster, and you get the scanner, which is basic, and the CRU, which is basic. Now I'm going to explain a little more about it in a second here. Now remember when I said that I have the Soma for testing the waters, or just a good throwaway fit, it was like about 70k. Well, I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. So I call out this tank right here, and I didn't look around. I should have scanned probably, but I look, and there's a missile tank right in front of me. Like, what the fuck? So I'm like, alright, well, maybe I can get in it and turn on my hardener, real quick. And yeah, that was a stupid idea. But I get owned right away. Again, I really got to get out of the habit of doing this. It's a good thing it only cost me 70k. So let me start with the scanner. The scanner really does help with kind of giving that support role to your team. You really only want to pull a blaster tank out when you have a decent amount of anti-tank. Either be it a forge guns or another rail tank to take. Because right away, yeah, see, I'm already getting shot by a rail tank. So basically, it's just a hit and run. I got these two guys right here helping me out, so that helped. But the blaster itself does kind of suit more of an antagonizer for tanks. So if I go and want to kill a tank, I'm going to have to evade most of his shots as far as a rail tank goes. But it's mostly anti infantry, so it's superior at hitting infantry. So a better way to support your blaster than to have an item scanner that can find infantry. And then on top of that, you have the CRU, which gives you that extra, I guess, objective taking power. You have, I have no seats on this, so the CRU will basically just make blueberries pop out of my tank. Real easy. Now the reason, okay, so I have 3 different armor mods. I'm looking at an armor plate, armor harder, and a armor repair. Now the reason I went with the complex armor hardener was because the other items, there's a marginal difference between complex and basic. So when it comes to the complex armor hardener, though, you have to wait a really long time for that to come back, and it's nice to have basically a thing that makes you invincible, or near invincible, or have a lot more hit points, a lot more when you're in a game, especially in a vehicle that has not a whole lot of turning speed or agility. I'll typically run a Soma in an ambush until I lose it, and then I just don't use the tank beyond that. The only reason I kept going with the Madruger is because there are 2 other rail tanks in the map. You really do want to pick your vehicles carefully. I typically start off a skirmish with a rail tank just to pop all the turrets and stuff like that. This fit is more suited for hit and run, because I'll get hit like this right here. I see how I backed off that armor hardener. I wanted to conserve that because I figured he was either on the mountain or down the road. So I had been experimenting with double armor hardeners, and what I found is that extra armor plate gives me a little more cushion to work with, so I can activate my hardener. You'll notice when I was fighting those infantry, I backed off and turned on my hardener when I was halfway through my armor. And the reason was because I'm using it as just a buffer. I'm actually not using I'm not using it more of an active tank. See, I'm skirting this guy right here, just to give my other tanks enough time to come up and hit him, which they do. Now I went with the CRU primarily because the extra little help that I get even from blueberries helps push AV off of me. It's better than being able to run away from enemies with a nitrous. There's some fitting problems whenever I try and use the nitrous too, but it's primarily due to the fact that I want to get support from either allies or blueberries, and have them push the enemies away from me. On top of that, the nitrous has a problem with being able to turn quickly, so I can go faster in a straight line, but I can't go faster in a circle. And that's good I need to be able to go quickly in a circle when I'm skirting other tanks. It's a defensive move more than an offensive move. Now that scanner, it's a basic scanner, so it has a long cooldown, but the scanner allows just my teammates, just my squad mates to see where the enemies are. It's got just as good as an advantage as having an infantry scanner too. Um, you know, Basically you can spot tanks, you can spot infantry, you can spot anything that can be high lit with a scanner. It's very, very useful. It brings it more into that support role that I think the blaster tank is suited for. Now the reason I went with only one armor hardener was because there's a stacking penalty when you try and use two. You really only get persistence, and if you have to use two, you really should be paying attention to the battle more, or paying attention to what's being shot at you. Yes, you can be blindsided by a double damage mod, red line railgun tank, but even with double damage mod or double armor hardeners, you're still not going to survive a double damage mod rail tank. Those are designed to kill anything. So it's more of a tactical support role tank. It's better to know where your enemy is and actively avoid him, or use your allies against him, than it is to have just a good fit. So it's more of a play style preference than it is a good all around fit. So this is the particular role that I've picked for this fit. You may have your own preference, but that's up to you. So, in conclusion, I will be adding a tactics blaster video later on. If you got any questions or comments or suggestions for this video, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. Subscribe and like, it helps me out a lot. And my in-game character is nakaya indigene, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.